You're welcome to another edition of EsojayiludunTv. The topic I'm led to share this week is controversial, and I'm not unaware of likely varying reactions from my Esojayiludun community. I'm motivated though by one of the words shared by my friend and mentor John C. Maxwell on Monday with over 5,000 people worldwide in his weekly series on leadership when it matters most. That word is discussion. Discussion. Yes, DISCUSSION. Discussion. It is important for a leader, which anyone with influence really is, to get around other people and have conversations. Conversations that would allow us learn from each other, thus enriching our knowledge base for effective life and leadership. The topic for this week, therefore, is the gradual easing of the lockdown. Why we should not vilify those that go to work. My heart goes out to everyone affected by COVID-19 in Nigeria and beyond, and my prayers and appreciation to the frontline health and sanitation workers out there. Recently, we have been forced by the exigency of the situation to make a choice between life and livelihood, between health and economy. A very unfair decision for anyone to make, because at the end of the day, both go hand in hand. Quoting my friend and mentor Alex Oko, you can't sustain life for very long without bread or livelihood. And without life, livelihood is pointless. The dead don't need bread. Sadly, information about the coronavirus is still evolving. There's still a lot that is unknown and so much more to learn, including how it spreads. The reality, though, is that coronavirus will be with us for a long time, as solutions increasingly rest in the discovery of a cure or a vaccine, which in itself is sharing a lot of concerns because of the perceived ulterior motives of some world powers and agencies. Lockdown, while desirable, the reality is that about 90% of Nigerians live on daily subsistence, while palliatives are being bandied all over the place. Who really can sustain life and living through palliatives alone? By the way, how many of the over 120 million less privileged Nigerians actually get the palliatives? The elites have some savings and investments that sustain their cash flow, so they are less affected by the lockdown, at least financially. It's not surprising, therefore, that we are the loudest in advocating for the sustained lockdown. This is not the West, and our approach must be indigenous. COVID-19 has dealt a deadly blow to globalization as we know it. Every country has shut its borders, not only to cure of coronavirus, but also to dealing with its own economic solutions, and is not interested in helping others. This is not surprising at all. Recall that in pre-flight announcements go like this: in the unlikely event of loss of cabin pressure, fix your own marks before fixing your child's. That is where we are now. Consequently, each nation, and I dare say each individual, family and business, is on their own as well. So, do not vilify those of us that opt to go out to work, provided we are following the guide-led safety precautions. Here are my reasons for supporting the gradual and phased unlocking of the lockdown. The longer we take to get some level of economic activity back on, the weaker consumer spending will get, as businesses that are unable to generate revenue can't sustain salary payments indefinitely. In fact, but for the few with reserves, staff rationalization or business closure are imminent and already happening. 2, the fragile consumer spending, fueled by inflation and dollar illiquidity, would raise prices further, making it even more difficult for majority of people to survive economically, even if they are COVID-free. We already saw a glimpse of what hunger can do with the riots and brazen banditry of hungry people, mostly those that survive on daily earnings. Those opportunities for daily sustenance are not possible without some economic activity picking up, thus making a sustained lockdown impracticable. 3, ability to earn a living in itself is key to the capacity to afford and pay for food and related nutrients that are needed to boost immunity, the best preventive measure around. We are still in the middle of a pandemic, so all safety precautions, as announced by the President and NCDC, must be adhered to the letter. Once you are out of your house, please wear masks at all times and use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer before and after every trip. If you must take public transport, practice social distancing by sitting in the back seat. Only 2 people in the back. And if it's in a bus, ensure there's some safety between you and the next person. If you must make payments, use online payments and cards rather than physical cash. Most importantly, please take care of your health. This is because it is cheaper to keep fit than to pay hospital bills due to illness. And illness itself could erode your capacity to even earn a living. If you feel sick or unwell, do not go out. Call your office, call the NCDC hotline. Above all, call on God, because He's the all-knowing and will give us the wisdom to survive. As I round up, please don't vilify again those that go out to work like me, provided we adhere to the safety guidelines specified. Finally, whether you are in lockdown, social distancing, or out to work, make sure that you look after yourself. Self-care is an essential part of staying happy and healthy, even more so at these times. This too will pass, and all of us will scale through it successfully. Have a good day. Bye-bye.